We are going to be making some jerky on the Traeger today. Here is a whole eye of round that I've already trimmed and gotten rid of all of the fat on. The reason you want to get a lean piece of meat like eye of round is because when you make jerky, if you leave it sit for a while, the fat will go rancid, and eye of round is super lean. So that means there's not a whole lot of fat. When you get a whole one like this, there's a lot of fat on the outside, but inside there's very little, and I have tried to trim off as much of the fat as I can. You can see I've got a little bit of oxidization here and here, but I'm not too worried about that, especially since the marinade is going to have some cure in it, and you won't even notice that once the color starts to set in. So what we need to do now is cut it. Now what you want to do is get it out to thaw, but don't let it thaw completely. This is still fairly frozen in the middle, and that makes it a lot easier to cut. So that is actually probably a little on the thick side, but that's all right. I don't mind my jerky being a little too thick. A meat slicer would make this a lot easier, so if you have one, I definitely suggest using that. But here, this is a little nicer for the size that we're looking for. And again, you just want to go through the entire piece and just try and cut them as uniform as possible. So that way they're all going to cook at relatively the same time when you get them on the Traeger. All right, I'm going to cut up the rest of this, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to do the marinade. And here is the spice mixture that we're going to use in our marinade. We've got a tablespoon of ground black pepper. We've got half a tablespoon of this ass-kicking hot salt, tablespoon of the sweet coffee rub, a tablespoon of the garlic jalapeno seasoning from Weber. We've got a tablespoon of dried chopped onion, half a tablespoon of this smoked paprika that is also quite spicy, a tablespoon of garlic powder, and a tablespoon of kosher salt. So here's what everything looks like. This is something that I just kind of threw together from what I've got in our cupboards here. How it's going to taste all together, I don't know. I'm kind of worried it might be a little too salty. If that's the case, then I'll just have to make sure I rinse it out really well after it's marinated. And I'm going to get some soy sauce and some other liquid, and we'll throw this all together. And to finish off the marinade, we are going with a cup of soy sauce, can of Coke for some sweetness, and then just a little bit of the Cajun Injector roasted garlic and herb, just for something a little different. I'm going to take all our spices here, and we're going to dump those in, and I threw a whole bunch on the floor because my hand slipped. That's lovely. Just going to whisk this up, and then we will get ready to dump this over top of the beef. Beef is in the bowl. Now we're going to dump our marinade on top. There we go. I'm just going to get in there with a spoon or something to just kind of push the beef down so that everything is all covered. And then we're going to go put it out in the fridge in the garage for 24 hours, and we'll get back to it tomorrow. So we'll see you then. It is the next day, and we've got the Traeger rocking and rolling. Just got it set on the smoke setting right now because that's going to let it run between 160, 175, which is perfect for making jerky. And there it is. I know it looks kind of disgusting right now, but it smells amazing. So we are going to get it on. I am hoping that I can get all of this on in one load here. I've never done a full eye of round on the Traeger before, so this is going to be something. But we're gonna open her up, get her on, and come right back. And I've got the jerky on. I'll open it up, let you take a look. There it is. So it's good to know that I can get an entire eye of round on this Traeger without needing to do a second load or anything like that. So a second batch. Batch is the word I was looking for. So that is great news. We are going to close this up and let it go. I figure it'll take 3 to 4 hours, and then everything will look good. So we'll check back in. We're about an hour and a half in, I think. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I completely lost track of time. I think I started this around 4:30, so it's about 6 o'clock now. So yes, that is an hour and a half, and we're going to take a look just to see how it's doing. The temperature on the Traeger is running about 160, give or take 5 degrees. So that's absolutely perfect and where we want it to be. So we can see it is starting to dry out a little bit, which is perfect and exactly what we're looking for. I'm going to close that back up before we lose too much heat. And I'll just mention that when we were putting the marinade together yesterday, I did not put in any curing salt, which I usually do, any prog powder, which I usually do when I'm making my jerky, just to be on the safe side, because I just want to be extra safe. I don't need to, but I do anyway. Instead, I did that later on last night before I went to bed, and I just added about 1 teaspoon of the prog powder into the marinade and then just mixed it around. So 1 teaspoon will do about 5 pounds of meat, will cure it, and I had about 5 pounds worth of, probably about a little bit less than that after I trimmed everything off. So that should be more than enough. Anyway, we'll come back and check on this in about another hour and a half, and hopefully it will be close to being done. Another hour and a half has gone by, so let's take a look at the jerky and see what we got so far. All right, that is actually looking really good. Some of that might be ready to come off yet, some of the smaller pieces. I'm going to grab one and take a look. Well, there we go. That one is looking pretty good. Well, she's still pretty soft yet. So put that back on, and we're going to close it up and give it another hour before we check again. All right, we are at about five and a half hours now. It's taken a little bit longer than I anticipated. However, looking at the chunks that I cut, they are a little bit on the thicker side, so that would account for the longer cooking time, obviously. Anyway, I think we are pretty much done, so we'll lift the lid up, take a quick look. I'm going to try a piece right now and do that right out here, and we'll take a look. All right, those are looking pretty good. As you can see, I've already pulled a few of the smaller pieces off that have been finished, and I think they tasted pretty good. I had a quick taste of those. Anyway, I'm going to grab one here and give it a try as well. All right, here we go. That's looking pretty darn good. And give her a little try. That is really good. The marinade that we put on there was amazing and tastes fantastic. Good smoke flavor from the pellets as well. So yes, this is probably my best jerky so far. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to share with your friends, and hit that subscribe button and the notification icon so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And don't forget to check out my Amazon affiliate links for items that I use in all of my videos if you're interested in picking something up for yourself, and also a link for my Patreon there as well. I'd love your support there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.